Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we got another NXT review. We did one last week. We did this one this week, so it still may or may not be a thing. But first video did good, and like I said, the more you interact, like it, all that type of stuff, will definitely want me to keep it around. And this NXT was pretty fun. I mean, we obviously got Great American Bash and Evolution coming up this weekend, so there was a lot that came from this. So let's just jump into it. So we started off with Ricky Saints having to run a gauntlet match against the Vanity Project from Evolve. It's a pretty solid match. I mean, there's a lot of good back and forth. I mean, I'm glad this Evolve talent's getting that extra, like, I don't know if you would say like exposure and stuff, because obviously they're really good in Evolve. Best tag team probably there, and obviously the Evolve champion and Jackson Drake. They're all pretty solid. I mean, they're young guys, and still have a long career, in front of them. So it's kind of an interesting thing to get these opportunities. And Ricky Saint's a veteran, so like it's one of those things where you look good either way. And this match I thought was pretty good. I mean, you could definitely tell that gauntlet matches are like that, where it kind of feels like there's something a little missing from it, because obviously that you can't go full force or make it look full force, because obviously you're gonna have to go for three guys. But I think each guy on the other side in the Vanity Project looked good. Jackson Drake looked still pretty good as being champion. It's just Ricky Saints is Ricky Saints. I mean, so, that's what happens. Ricky Saint won. He will now have a match at Great American Bash against Ethan Page. Not 100% on that match. I don't really know exactly the whole point of putting him right back in the rivalry of this area when he lost the title from him. I feel like they could have definitely done something different here, but I honestly am not too opposed to it. I put this in a B. It was a really good way to start off the show, and have Even Page on commentary over there was also pretty good, because he put over these guys. These guys definitely got a little extra look. Next up, we had Charlie Dempsey versus Tavion Heights. If Tavion Heights would have won, he could leave XQC. CC, what? No Catch Republic. No, God, why do I always get them and uh, the other tag team? I don't know why I get them two mixed up, but it's either here or there. Both of these men look amazing. Tavion Heights is a star. Like, he's very underrated if you haven't seen him in NXT. I really did kind of want him to win here just so he could go out on his own. And I think he needs to get a push. I mean, even if he doesn't get a push, put these two as a tag team, which obviously with the match, I don't think it's going to happen, because, Charlie Dempsey didn't necessarily cheat, but he didn't hold back on trying to injure his opponent. And even though they're supposed to be friends and faction members, it's kind of a crazy way to even try to preserve a win. So it wasn't great, and Ren Sinclair had to throw in the towel so Tavion wouldn't get hurt. And I thought that was a nice choice, because obviously Tavion's going to be angry at Ren also, but enough that like he could understand like it shouldn't have got to that point. But I like the match. I thought this match was really good. It was probably one of my favorite matches of the night. Like, some of the other matches are really good, but I think this one might have just been my favorite. They had a really good back and forth, and like the strong style that Charlie Dempsey has, and like whatever Tavion Heights has, which is just great, works really well together. So I would not mind seeing this again at some point. So I'm gonna put this up in A. Next up, we had High Rise versus Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. Now, honestly, this isn't like a bad match. I just not invested in this whole feud in general with Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, Trick Williams, High Rise, Wesley. Like all of them in it is like, it's definitely like good to see all of those guys around. I think this match was good. I don't think it was bad at all, but I'm just not invested in the story. But I don't think it really matters. I mean, they'll have a triple threat at Slammiversary, which will be, pretty interesting. I think that's kind of a cool thing, that like there's a lot of NXT talent and a lot of TNA talent being on each other's show, and it gives me an actual purpose to actually pay attention to TNA as a guy who, like, I at least my viewpoint of wrestling is I love WWE. I watch everything that's WWE, no matter what. AEW, I watch some of this TV. I keep up with the storylines, and I watch the PLEs. Stardom and Marigold, I watch the major events, and anytime I can catch an event, I'll catch it. And so like those are my extent. Like there's not that big thing. So TNA is kind of like on the outside looking in, where I don't watch much of it before this, but once they started getting the NXT talent, you're starting to see more of the talent they do. I try to watch the show as much as possible. I definitely watch all the PLEs, so it's definitely helping, at least as a fan like me, go and watch this product, and I like it. I feel like TNA's done decent. They have a lot of big red flags and issues in their roster that they're trying to fix with having TNA or NXT talent helping them. And I think they have a decent position to possibly move on and do some different stuff with. This match itself, I thought was pretty good. I thought they had some good back and forth. Everybody looked good. Obviously, Trick Williams coming in. The ending was a little, for me, I didn't really care too much about it. It was just a little bit of a distraction, and like I didn't really understand any of that part. It was just to further the feud, but it just didn't really work for me. But overall, I put this in a B. It was still entertaining. Then we had an awesome video package with hyping up the Obafemi and is it Yoshi Ara? I'm gonna butcher his name, but a big support with like Io Sky and a bunch of people from Noah. Seeing people from Pro Wrestling Noah on a NXT or a WWE programming is insane. I never thought we'd see a day that would just have that. So this goes up in S tier for just being one of the most one of a kind things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I like it. And I think the feud itself is going to be good. They had a back and forth after this in the ring. Um, I really was thinking that he had a very little chance of beating Obafemi, but I feel like it's gone up since all of this. But I'm excited to see the match because I think it's going to be a really good match, though. Then we had Kalani Jordan against Reed. Now Reed's come out of nowhere. Lady Reed, like she has had like what 3 matches already in like the last 4 weeks from coming. I think she was injured, but like she got that red hot start. So I'm kind of interested to see what they do with her. I mean, she's kind of just like a heel at the moment that's kind of annoying and like kind of self-centered. So there could be some movement for her because there's so much baby faces that are in NXT. So I I like it, but Kalani Jordan and her had some pretty decent back and forth. I'd probably also put it in the B. It was a solid match, but I want to see more of what Lena Reed can do. And then we had still the most uninteresting story in NXT for me is the damn family. They had a sit down with Rizzo, and I think they're gonna have like a triple threat for whoever is in charge or whatever. I don't know. I can tell you that like I'm normally when I'm watching wrestling, I'm pretty just like locked in. Like even if I'm doing something else on the side, I'm locked into the wrestling and only a little bit paying attention to if there's anything else going on. But I completely just glossed over this. It was not it for me. I'm going to put it down in D again. Next up, we had a Blake Monroe segment where she was trying to get a glamorous retreat type thing with her and Jordan Grace. I thought it was a nice little thing. I like these little vignette things. They released were something that we get to see before we actually get to see Blake Monroe in the ring this weekend, which I'm very, very excited to see. So I'm happy about that. So if you just look at everything else, this has just been a phenomenal like little mini feud that she's getting, and hopefully we'll get some more screen time after this. I think with having like a close relationship with Jordan Grace, there's a good possibility that that will be Jordan Grace's first rivalry after her getting the title if she wins the title this weekend. So I like it. I put this up an S. It wasn't anything too crazy. Like I said, I definitely think it's just kind of like a cutesy type promo in the back. But I mean, if we could see Blake Monroe, I'm perfectly fine with putting it up in S tier. Then we had the tag team championship match, Ink and Tank versus the Culling. I actually was really just like not invested in this match at first, but they actually won me over by actually just being really good in there. Ink and Tank is like an interesting tag team because they're definitely supposed to be that lovable team that you want to rally behind, but I just still have not got behind them. And the Culling is supposed to be those big bad guys that like are trying to do stuff, but I really more care about Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley's side of things than the men's side of things of Nico Vance and Sean Spears. I mean, the whole point was getting Brooks Jensen in there, and they kind of just cut him out because of like being weak. I guess it just kind of felt like one of those things is kind of stupid, but I'm gonna go. That's a whole different thing. But this match was really good. The good back and forth, and Hank and Tank and survived and hold on the tag team. So I mean, they need to. They kind of like have to be a pretty decent tag team because they're coming from taking it off Fraxium, and I feel like their reign needs to be somewhat longish just to make it look like yes, they deserve to take it off of them. I'll put them up in A. Then we had Ava talk about the 6 participants that are going to be on the NXT side. So we got for the Battle Royal at Evolution, we got Jada Parker, we have Lola Vice, we have Lash Legend, Kalani Jordan, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley. Perfect 6, honestly, because anybody else that you can really think about that would possibly get an opportunity like this would be already in a match for uh, the Bash. I kind of was hoping that Zarya would have gotten something. I know she's in the match at Evolution, but I kind of wish that she would have had that opportunity to also be in the battle. Well, I guess she's in Evolution in the battle. I retract what I say. I'm there's just so much wrestling that I can't even remember what half of the events. So I disregard the tangent that I went on. So anybody else that I can really think of in the back, I feel like possibly wouldn't get that call. So I think they were a good solid 6 to put in there. I'll put it up in Esther. And then obviously they had the summit at the end, which had everybody else. We had Stephanie Ricor there, Julia, Zelina Vega, the Dungeon Dolls, and Ivy Nile. So I'm guessing that's another 6 that are going to be in there. I'm assuming it's going to be around 20, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making it 30. I still think it's going to be a Stephanie Vercor win. I mean, obviously Nikki Bella would also be good, but I feel like that is the opportunity that they're showing here, that it's going to be Stephanie getting that opportunity at Clash at Paris. So yeah, I liked the people that they showed there. I think they were all solid points. I would say the only thing I probably wouldn't like, I feel Julia should have had her own match for Saturday Night Main Event if they weren't going to put her on the other cards. Because yeah, why is that match card only 3 cards? But yeah, NXT I think was a solid B plus. I thought pretty much the wrestling was good. Nothing really too bad. They had nice solid 5 matches, which is always kind of the thing that I feel like sometimes NXT gets better, is because now that all the shows are around roughly 2 hours, you can kind of directly compare them, and them having 5 matches compared to the 4 that the other two have make a lot of sense that they're better wrestling, because those 5 matches are all pretty solid 90% of the time, and I liked all of these. And all the segments I thought were pretty good. It's just the family stuff that I just can't stand, and that's just me, more of a personal opinion. So yeah, this has been Japan. I do this for SmackDown, Raw, Evolve, and then this week we have all the different stuff. We'll have prediction videos for all the events, and including AEW. So if you like any of that, just like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.